You do not have a name. Not anymore. You had one once, a childhood, a mother who called you in for dinner, a bedroom with a window that faced east. That person is gone. Erased on purpose. Buried under 17 layers of false paperwork, dead accounts, and silence. You are the ghost every agency wants to catch. The one-line item in 100 classified briefings. The face that changes every 18 months. The most wanted spy alive. This is not fame. This is a slow-motion execution, delayed by skill. It begins in a small room. Fluorescent light. A recruiter who never gives his real name either. He tells you service to your country requires sacrifice. He does not tell you the sacrifice is permanent. He does not tell you that the first lie you tell for the job will be easy, and the 6,000th will feel like nothing at all. You sign. You vanish from your own life in stages. First your friends stop hearing from you. Then your family gets a story about a transfer overseas. Then even that story dies, replaced by silence they learn not to question. You are trained to become no one so that you can become anyone. This is the first hidden truth. The job does not ask you to lie to the enemy. It asks you to lie to everyone who has ever loved you, every day, forever. A good cover is not a costume. It is a second skeleton grown over the first. You learn a language until you dream in it. You learn a religion's rhythms until you can pray convincingly at 4 a.m. without hesitation. You learn to flinch at the right moments, laugh at the right jokes, mourn losses that never happened to you. You build a legend, birth certificate, school records, tax history, a mother who will vouch for you if anyone calls. Real people, paid or coerced, playing extras in the theater of your existence. You live inside this legend for years at a time. Long enough that some nights, alone in a hotel room in a city whose name changes more often than your face, you forget which version of you is real. This is the second hidden truth. Identity is not a fixed thing. It is a resource, and you have spent yours down to almost nothing. You move through cities like weather. You read a street in seconds, exits, blind spots, the rhythm of foot traffic that tells you who belongs and who is watching. A dead drop is not dramatic. It is a chalk mark on a mailbox. A folded newspaper on a park bench. A micro-SD card taped beneath a public sink. The tradecraft is boring by design. Boring survives. Dramatic gets you killed. You meet no one face to face if you can help it. Every asset you run is a stranger you trust with your life and never truly know. Every handler above you could be compromised. Every safe house could already be burned. You operate on the assumption that today might be the day it ends. Surveillance detection becomes a language your body speaks without you. You take the long way home. You never take the same route twice. You watch reflections in shop windows, memorize the gait of strangers. Paranoia here is not a symptom. It is a survival skill you sharpen until it becomes your resting state. Somewhere, in a country you can never return to, there is a person who loved you under a name that no longer exists. You left without explanation, because explanation was the one luxury you could not afford. You think of them sometimes not with regret exactly, because regret implies a choice you were free to make differently. You think of them the way you think of a country you can see on a map but can never visit again. This is the third hidden truth, the one the agencies never put in the recruitment brochure. Intelligence work does not cost you your life all at once. It costs you in installments, a relationship here, a birthday missed there, a father's funeral you watch from 400 meters away through a rented car window because attending in person would compromise an operation 11 months in the making. You grieve at a distance. You always grieve at a distance. Now they are hunting you. Multiple services, multiple flags, one shared objective. Find the operative who has done more damage to more governments than any single asset in a generation. Your file, if it exists in any official form, is mostly blank. Photographs that are years out of date. A voice print. A pattern of behavior more than a physical description. You are, in the truest sense, a rumor with a body count. You cross a border twice a week under names you burn on arrival. You carry 3 passports and trust none of them completely. You sleep with an exit already planned before you have finished checking in. Every stranger who lingers too long in your peripheral vision becomes a threat assessment. Every unscheduled knock becomes a countdown. You have trained your mind to treat comfort itself as a warning sign, because comfort means you have stopped watching, and the moment you stop watching is the moment they take you. This is the fourth hidden truth. At the top of this profession, safety does not exist. Only the illusion of enough distance between you and capture, purchased fresh, every single day. You have made decisions that would end most people. You have let an asset be sacrificed to protect an operation worth more, in the cold calculus of your handlers, than a single human life. You have watched someone you recruited disappear into a system with no oversight, and you have said nothing because saying something meant becoming the next name on that list. You tell yourself the mission justifies it. Some nights you believe it. Other nights you do not sleep at all. This is the fifth hidden truth, the one no film ever shows honestly. The work does not make monsters of good people through one dramatic betrayal. It does it through 1,000 small permissions, each one reasonable in isolation, each one a brick in a wall you cannot see until you are standing inside it, unable to remember which version of yourself gave the order to start building. You have stopped attacks the public will never know were planned. You have extracted operatives from collapsing states in the dark, in silence, in trucks with no plates. You have handed your government intelligence that reshaped policy on 3 continents, and no one, not one person outside a handful of rooms, will ever know your name in connection with any of it. There are no medals for you. No ceremonies. No statue. If you succeed perfectly, history simply continues as though the catastrophe you prevented never had the chance to exist. Your greatest victories are indistinguishable to the outside world from days when nothing happened at all. This is the final cruelty of the work. You cannot even privately claim your own triumphs, because claiming them means someone finds out who you are, and finding out who you are means you die. You sit now in a room with 1 door and 1 window, in a city with a name you will forget on purpose within the month. Rain moves against the glass. Somewhere below, a city continues, unaware that one of the most consequential and most hunted human beings on the planet is watching it through a gap in the curtains. You think about the person you were before all this, the one with the mother, the window, the ordinary Tuesdays. You wonder, not for the first time, whether that person would recognize what you have become. You wonder whether they would forgive it. You do not have an answer. You have stopped expecting one. What you have instead is discipline and distance, and the strange, cold comfort of knowing that you are, at this moment, still breathing, which in this line of work is not a small thing. It is the only thing. You were told once that a spy's life is measured in secrets kept, not years lived. You believe that now, the way you believe in gravity, not because it comforts you, but because it is simply, undeniably true. In the end, you understand this. The world is not saved by the people it remembers. It is saved by the ones it was never allowed to know existed at all.